Protesters across the country took to the streets Wednesday in opposition to the Trump administration's policies and Project 2025, a conservative policy blueprint that has become a flashpoint in national politics. The demonstrations, largely centered around state capitals, were part of an online organized movement called 50501, signifying 50 protests in 50 states on one day. Under hashtags like #BuiltTheResistance and number 50501, activists mobilized through social media, calling on Americans to stand against what they describe as authoritarian overreach. From Atlanta to Austin, Boston to Philadelphia, demonstrators held signs with messages such as "Silence is violence," "Defend democracy," and "Death to fascism." In Montpelier, Vermont, college student Andy Cole joined the protest outside the State House, expressing a deep sense of urgency. "As a young person, it's important for me to be here. As a human, it is important for me to be here," Cole said, adding that he would not be able to sleep at night if he remained disengaged from what he views as a critical fight for the future. The protests came as Trump, now in the early weeks of his new term, has been signing a flurry of executive orders, many of which are already facing legal challenges. Immigration policy was a major focus of the demonstrations, with activists carrying signs that read, "No human is illegal," in response to the administration's aggressive push to deport as many undocumented migrants as possible. LGBTQ+ rights were another rallying point, with protests erupting on the same day that Trump signed an executive order banning transgender athletes from women's sports, just a week after restricting gender-affirming care for minors. A significant share of the outrage was directed at the administration's plans to shut down the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, which handles foreign aid and disaster relief. Elon Musk, now heading the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, announced that he was in the process of dismantling the agency with Trump's backing, framing it as an effort to eliminate wasteful spending. Many demonstrators took direct aim at Musk, accusing him of wielding unchecked influence over government policy. Signs reading, "No one voted for Elon Musk," appeared at multiple protests, reflecting a broader concern over his role in reshaping federal institutions. Vice President J.D. Vance pushed back against that criticism on social media, posting on X that they did however vote for Donald Trump, who promised repeatedly to have Elon Musk root out wasteful spending in our government. The administration has framed its approach as a necessary correction to what it sees as government bloat, but opponents argue it is a wholesale dismantling of critical public services. Leading up to the day of action, organizers circulated protest materials online, including a Declaration of Equal Liberty that described Project 2025 as an existential threat to American institutions. The document accused its architects of using divisive rhetoric to erode fundamental freedoms, an accusation that has been central to the growing resistance movement. Trump has attempted to distance himself from Project 2025 in public remarks, despite appointing several of its key contributors to his administration. But for protesters, that disavowal rings hollow as his policies continue to align with the plan's vision. With tensions escalating and legal battles looming, the protests signal an energized opposition determined to challenge the direction of Trump's second term.